So don't even bother with perfection, because the pursuit of perfection itself leads away from the very pursuit for which it aspires to obtain. So the harder you try for perfection, the less likely you are to reach it, because you will constantly be questioning whether or not you have reached perfection. And so it's going to create a funnel of self-doubt, and you're not going to get anywhere. And options that lead to solutions that the perfectionist would never be able to understand. For the love of humanity, and because you and I are so intimately connected, let's get deep with the Daily Empowerment Podcast. Daily empowerment to empower you to be wise, to be brave, and to be beautiful. So, holding aside any religious views I may have, can I define perfection without using the word perfect? So if we use Google as kind of a summary of human knowledge as we are now, at least the best way we can try to get a summary of human knowledge at the moment, Google defined perfection as the conditioned state or quality of being free, or as free as possible, from all flaws or defects. That's still a bit unsatisfactory of a definition, because now we have to try to define flaws and defects in order to decide what perfection is. But if we boil perfection down to a particular task, like remembering to plan every night, that one action of actually setting a nightly reminder, if I actually do that one action, and it turns out that it happens, I've kind of done that perfectly. Or have I? So really, I'm not so much after perfection as I am competency. I set that goal, or I set that alarm competently enough that it worked. And so it's getting me what I want. For that to be perfect, for me to be perfect at setting that goal, I would have to, or setting that alarm system, I would have to know every possible means of setting a reminder to plan. And that would take a long time to try to figure out every possible method and then choosing the best way of doing it. That's not what I really want. I just want a competent method of doing it. Were I to strive for perfection in that one thing, I would find I would always be disappointed and dissatisfied with the way that works, because I'm never quite sure, because I'm not sure even if I know every possible method of doing that one task. I may even do it with less competency, because already I have an increased sense of self-deprecating perception of my imperfection. I'm doing it believing that I'm still imperfect because I don't know or could possibly know every possible way, so there may still be a better way of doing it, so I might be doing it less competently in order to comply with the idea that I've set forth. So don't even bother with perfection, because the pursuit of perfection itself leads away from the very pursuit for which it aspires to obtain. So the harder you try for perfection, the less likely you are to reach it, because you will constantly be questioning whether or not you have reached perfection. And so it's going to create a funnel of self-doubt, and you're not going to get anywhere. In fact, you'd probably have a better time seeking for competency in something. Not that you need to be perfect, you just need to be competent at it. You need to be able to first accomplish that task before you can even worry about anything else. And what more is that if you're good at being competent at it, maybe you can get a little creative at doing it. Maybe if you're not even worried about perfection, you can strive for excellence, which in my view leaves perfection in the dust, because it can create compound effects to our actions. It can create effects that perfection would not allow us to obtain, because perfection is a linear way of thinking. Perfection prescribes one method is better than all. And if we're so intent on getting one method, we may miss out on the plethora of options that lead to solutions that the perfectionist would never be able to understand, because it's not one solo way. It's something that is compound, that does more than one thing. So I can go beyond perfection when I strive for excellence, when I strive for competency. Once I abandon the pursuit of perfection for the pursuit of excellence, I will leave perfection in the dust. You will leave perfection in the dust. Will do more than what the pursuit of perfection could ever have done, because the pursuit of that linear solution would never lead to more robust applications. I believe that you can be wiser than what you are right now by not searching for perfection, but by searching for competency and then letting yourself be creative enough to strive for excellence. Thank you for getting deep with me on this episode of the Daily Empowerment Podcast. Daily empowerment to empower you to be wise, to be brave, and to be beautiful. Remember, the views presented here may or may not be those of our management company or our affiliates, and any information you hear should first be reviewed by the corresponding professional, whether that's medical, legal, or financial, before applying it to your life. All rights are reserved by our content's creators.